Welcome to my channel everyone. In this video we are going to talk about Bitcoin, the Bitcoin dominance, the USDT dominance and the total crypto market cap 3 to get an overview over the whole crypto market. So let's just start with Bitcoin. What did we say yesterday and what happened? So we have said a breakout over 115,440 US dollar is going to get us most likely a push into 118,830 US dollar. This didn't happen. Why that? Because we didn't get over the resistance over the old top. Instead, this wasn't on the chart because yesterday's update was somewhere in that area. We got a sharp sell-off. This sharp sell-off developed a double top pattern. We broke it to the downside. We got our retest. We went into 111,250 US dollar. This was the target of the double top pattern, which I have seen afterwards. We went even a step lower. I have also said in my other updates where I talked about the altcoins that in that market stage right here, I went into short positions. So I will let you know why I did it, because this was based on the USDT dominance and the total crypto market cap 3. But yeah, back to Bitcoin. We are on the 50 minutes chart. We have also seen a bullish divergence in the RSI, so higher lows in the RSI, lower lows in the chart. So we could have expected a nice movement to the upside. We have seen bullish divergences for every single coin. That's why when we were down below here, I decided to get out of my short trades and I even jumped into long trades. But this was not based for because of Bitcoin. This was based on the USDT dominance and the total crypto market cap 3, and also because the other coins gave me all bullish signals. Now listen to me carefully. On the 50 minutes chart, Bitcoin is moving very corrective to the upside. Within a rising wedge, which I'm not going to trade because this orange rising wedge is not looking good to me. The angle is not the best one. It is far too small, and on the other hand it's too sharp, and we are on the 50 minutes chart. So basically this is just an orientation. We broke this chart pattern to the downside, target 109,921, but I would be very careful with this target. Why that? Because I've told you this rising wedge might get invalidated with a very high chance. So still Bitcoin corrective movement to the upside. Once we break the $113,620 to the upside, I would be ready to jump into a long trade for Bitcoin. Yeah, I have long trades for all the altcoins, but I don't have a long trade for Bitcoin yet. Once we break it to the upside, then I think that the movement which we wanted to see before, once we broke that bull flag to the upside, should happen after we break the $113,620 to the upside. So I can take this bull flag out of the chart. This didn't work. So still, since Bitcoin is a bit more weak and corrective to the upside, we can look into the Bitcoin dominance. The Bitcoin dominance showed us a falling wedge. Broke to the upside, target 60.31%. I doubt that we are going to see this target. Why that? Because if we look into the smaller time frame, also here a double top pattern which broke to the downside, very sharp. If I make this trend line a bit longer, then you can see that within a corrective movement we retested the old support, which is now resistance. And I personally think that we are going to get this. 58% is going to get very realistic in my opinion. And here I would look into the 1 hour RSI. You can see a nice trend line down below here. Once it breaks to the downside like this, then I think this scenario is going to happen and we might see the 58% for the Bitcoin dominance, which would also mean that the altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin on the short term. And it can always happen that we are going to break more to the downside. This can also mean a nice altcoin rally. I would still keep the target of 60.31% on the chart. Why that? Because we didn't invalidate this target yet. And we would invalidate it once we break this low to the downside. But as long as we don't do, this what I've drew here is just my speculation. It is just my feeling. Because if we now look into the USDT dominance, then we have predicted the 4.59% very good. We have said here, okay, we are going sideways, but I can also imagine, I started my short trades right here, but I can also imagine that we are going to see the 4.59%. Once we break it to the downside, then it's going to be bearish. Sorry, once it breaks to the downside, then it's going to be bullish for the altcoins and for Bitcoin. Instead, we went into short trades because we were thinking of a scenario like this one, where we push, get a pullback, and then another top. I also think that this is not going to happen anymore. And this would actually get verificated. That's why I will make this trend line even red. We are very close to it even. 4.72% in the USDT dominance. If we are going to lose this support at 4.72% in the USDT dominance, then I think the USDT dominance is going to sell off. That means that cryptos are going to push. And for sure, 4.59%. Once this breaks to the downside, then everyone, it should be clear that the coins are going to do a nice push with a very high chance. Also here, an RSI trend line, once it breaks to the downside, looks positive to me that we are also going to break the 4.72% to the downside as well. Also about the USDT dominance, if I don't count this top right here, yeah, I just, it's gone, okay? This also looks to me like a double top pattern. And once it breaks to the downside, altcoins should push. That's why I think 4.59% is going to get very essential to break to the downside if we want to see higher prices for the cryptos. So let's go into the total crypto market cap 3. So it's about the top 125 altcoins, excluded Bitcoin and Ethereum. We have said that this might here, double top pattern, broke to the downside, target 1.02 trillion. If we are not going to see a push there and we break it to the downside, then we could have been happy to get some altcoins cheaper again. If we get there a nice bounce, then we can jump into long positions and we get into trades far more earlier based on those informations. The 1.02 trillion were good support. In the 50 minutes chart, if we look into the RSI, we have formed a bullish divergence. That's why I have taken my long trades for the altcoins. So basically, everything so far predicted pretty good, and we can't be bearish right now. Why that? Because also on the 50 minutes chart, we have got our first push and now a consolidation within a bull flag. We have retested old resistance and now we have to break the 1.05 trillion to the upside. This one right here, even 1.06 trillion. If you look into the target closely, this is not by accident. I want it to be there. Why that? Because the breakout of the bull flag is going to be the 1.05 trillion. But I want to see the tops from here getting taken out to the upside. So this is going to be 1.06 trillion. Once we break it to the upside, positive, and we should see the resistance at 1.1 trillion getting hit with this chart pattern. Doesn't have to be, but the chance is very high for it. So let's get everything together. Yeah, we have 3-4 puzzle pieces, and now we have to put them together. So the total crypto market cap 3 is giving me a bullish signal. It gave us a bullish divergence on the smaller time frame, on the 15 minutes chart, and now we have a bull flag. If we are going to break it to the upside, that would cause that the USDT dominance is also going to drop lower than support. And if we break support to the downside, then we have space to the downside in the USDT dominance. That would mean for the total crypto market cap 3, once we break the bull flag to the upside, we have space to the upside. If we are now comparing the Bitcoin dominance, and we keep this puzzle piece also in the game, then we can also say, hey, so far so good. We have a target 60.31%, but the whole movement even looks right now that the Bitcoin dominance is going to be bearish. That means that the altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin. We are also seeing that Bitcoin is struggling. We see that Bitcoin has a corrective movement to the upside on the smaller time frame. This one right here, this is not impulsive, this is overlapping corrective, which already broke to the downside. For sure, we can also break it to the upside. The Bitcoin dominance can still drop while Bitcoin is going up. That just means that the altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin in its push far more. So, Bitcoin dominance should drop in my view. USDT dominance is close to a breakout to the downside. That would cause a push for the whole crypto market. And the total crypto market cap 3 is giving me a nice target with a nice bull flag, and bull flags are very bullish. And Bitcoin has some kind of a corrective movement to the upside. All puzzle pieces leads to the altcoins are going to get, with a very high chance, a nice push, where they are going to outperform Bitcoin on the short term. We still have to track if it's going to be sustainable, and we get slowly into our well-earned altcoin season. Yeah, we are currently in the altcoin season. You can see it for many coins, even in the top 100 lists, which are pushing. We can just jump into Tau, for example, which is doing this kind of movement. We can also look for other coins, for example, ZAC USDT. Also, let's go into the 4-hour chart. So basically, this is an altcoin season. We don't see it for every single coin. We see it for specific coins right now. But once we get nearer to the altcoin season, which everyone wants to have, because I'm not sure if you are holding those kind of coins like ZAC, CoAI, USDT. This one was also crazy. Like, this is how an altcoin season looks like. And trust me on that, in those kind of market stages, I'm sorry for that, it might be better to not trade. Where do you want to buy CoAI? For sure, you can say, yeah, down below here, for sure. Let's see if you knew about this coin right now, even. But then those kind of pushes are coming. Where do you want to take your trade? Do you want to trade it from $20 to $40? I mean, it looks much, but this is just 100%. You're risking a 90% crash. So, altcoin season is going to get very, very difficult to trade. And if you want to trade it with me together, then follow me, subscribe me, turn on the notification, because here you are going to get some surplus value, which is going hopefully to lead you into a new trading mindset, where you can also get some huge profitable trades. See you in the altcoin update.